ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello. Welcome to today's Cherry Slaps on a very cloudy but very, very dry Wednesday morning. Feeling Octobery now, Malcolm. Is it feeling Octobery in Germany?
So, all good morning, Craig. Good morning, everybody in the chat, and Darren Hurst as well. We're not Cherry Slaps, we're Cherry AM.
Oh, yes, sorry, Cherry AM. Yes. Did I say Cherry Slaps?
You did indeed, sir.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yellow card.
Yellow card. Yes, Cherry AM.
Rainy this morning. Very gloomy, very autumnal, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Been to an Oktoberfest?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. We actually went a few years back. There's a big Bavarian place near Alexanderplatz. It's it's decked out nicely, typical Bavarian. It was dire. The food was awful, and I vowed never to go again. And you couldn't hear yourself speak. It was that loud.
Was it?
So I just said, no more. So can we talk football now?
Yeah, they weren't serving the German hot dogs, or anything.
Yeah, it was typical Bavarian dishes, but it was awful. Seriously.
Fair enough.
And it wasn't cheap.
Better in Bournemouth Market, at Christmas, when they do like all the Christmas igloos and things like that. Would you say?
The German markets are brilliant here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll tell you what, let's get into the comments. I'll just quickly run through these as well. Sorry about my hiccup. It's not Cherry Slaps. Of course, it's Cherry AM. Well, what am I doing? I haven't woken up this morning, Malcolm, have I?
Another coffee down, yeah.
No, definitely not. Definitely. David DeCosta, good morning, everyone in the chat. Good day to Darren. 20 degrees and sunshine in Melbourne, up the Cherries.
Morning, David.
Good morning to Darren. Hi all. It's currently 21 degrees and blue skies in the world's most remote city of Perth. Hi, David, fellow Aussie Cherry down under. There we are, 21 degrees.
Morning, Darren. Enjoy your walk, mate.
Yes, yeah. That's a little bit more like it, isn't it? That's a bit more Australian. But yeah, Matt's tried to explain to me, of course, we got this thing called the globe and everything's, on the polar opposites.
You got to look further than just outside your window, Craig. That's the thing.
Yes. The world doesn't just stop at Bournemouth. You've probably seen the old Cherry Abroad videos, and it's quite well narrated. I'll give the credit there to Andy Hodgson, of course, the Alan Partridge Shopping TV. Good morning, all, says Nick Gillins. Good morning,
Nick.
Hope you're doing well. Paul Sands says, good morning to everyone. Good morning, Paul. Hope you're doing well.
Paul.
Darren has said hi to Nick. Good morning, everybody, says Chris Hubble. Hope you're doing well, Chris.
Yeah, morning, Chris.
Oh, dear. Darren has sworn at Nick by saying hi up the Cherries, and then he was like, sorry, it's supposed to be the Cherries. Yeah. I'll say the middle finger was for me. I've already made one balls up this morning. Never mind. Well, I tell you what, let's get on to our main topic. So, of course, we've heard all the talk, and it drives us mental, about Andoni. We've heard all the talk about our players and Semenyo's being linked with Spurs and things like that. But what we want to do is really put a video together of why this is just absolute rubbish and why these players, why our manager should stay at AFC Bournemouth. Take it away, Malcolm.
Very good point. Yeah, I mean, there is just too much outside of the club. If you go online, it's a daily thing now. It's just something that drives me bonkers as well as all the other fans, and including, I must admit, some of our own fans being quite negative about players maybe going or whatever.
Yeah.
The thing is with Bournemouth, the club itself, I look at it as like a bubble. So that's from the top right down to the tea lady,
Yeah.
and they keep everything within that bubble. Right.
Mhm.
So there's no noise coming out of the club at all. So when you don't hear anything, that doesn't mean that nothing's going on. They've got a family environment.
Yep.
Everybody knows their jobs, what they have to do. And I'm pretty certain, with hand on heart, that everybody wants to be part of this project.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let the people outside make all the noise, which they're doing anyway, and talk a load of gibberish. Nobody asks the players exactly what they want. Nobody asks Andoni. I mean, he won't give an answer anyway, bless him,
No.
because he's already stated many a time
Mhm.
that he's more than happy doing his job. It's his family, and he has his quiet time outside football. He doesn't get the hassle, so he can come and go wherever he wants. But if somebody sees him on the street and wants to say hello, he'll be polite. You imagine going to, it doesn't matter, you could name any other maybe top 10 club in the country. If he went and moved there, he wouldn't have the same. He certainly wouldn't have the same as what he has at Bournemouth. And that would go the same for the players as well.
I think we're in a unique situation.
Hmm?
Yes, the club is, and some people will say this, and I'm going to say it myself now. We are kind of punching above our weight. We know that we've done that for a long, long period of time. However, we are gradually becoming that team that are evolving into Premier League mainstays. We've only spent of the last 10 years now. We've only spent 2 years outside of the top flight, which is remarkable for a football club of this size. Absolutely remarkable of a football club of this size, but it's well run. And I echo everything that you've said there. I'm just going through and I'm looking at the actual, the rumors that are spinning around. Metro are going on about Antoine Semenyo, race for unique 75 million. Bournemouth star, Manchester United, Liverpool, Spurs. Football Talk, Manchester United and Spurs. Talking about Semenyo. Chelsea is mentioned by the fourth official. Caught offside is talking about Manchester United and Liverpool. It's becoming a bit tiresome. Spurs web is, of course, talking about Spurs. Antoine Semenyo, it says it's just a matter of time. But this man, Antoine Semenyo is somebody who loves the area. He went travelling round Dorset recently to, explore the area, see what else was out here. He loves playing for AFC Bournemouth. He loves the local. I've seen Antoine Semenyo went out, and he's always got a smile on his face. And why would he want to go to Spurs, to Manchester United, to Chelsea at this moment in time? They are not guaranteed to win anything. The only team that you could say, I think, will probably win anything is, Liverpool, push Arsenal at this moment in time. I just can't see why all the media outlets want to build this bubble and keep going on and on and on and on and on about it, because Antoine Semenyo has signed a new contract. There is, and part of that, yeah, is going to be to make sure that we maximise his transfer fee. But he's got no reason to go anywhere, has he, Malcolm? He's enjoying it down here, and he can achieve probably more down here by getting this club into somewhere that we've never been than going to Liverpool and just winning the league with them, or going to
Uh,
Man United and sitting in a club which is a bit of a mess.
All I want to say, I mean, you said punching above our weight. Actually, we have raised the bar last
Yes.
season, and we've raised the bar again slightly this season. It's part of the project. This
Hmm.
is what everybody's buying into, and people got to remember that is the ground. That the stones are set, and we're building up.
Yeah.
And it will be no surprise that we maybe improve on last season's position, even points tally. It's a possibility. I'm not saying it is going to happen, but taking into account the brilliant recruitment
Yeah.
and the setup around the club, and the players get on and do the job. They might have a bad day at the office. I mean, it can happen with any club at all.
Hmm.
But we're just very progressive, and I'm being more than glass half full,
Yeah.
as always. Very positive about the whole thing, and we're just going to keep moving up and up. Now, I'm not saying we're going to reach the pinnacle, but we've got goals,
Hmm.
and those targets are what come from the top and what are achievable. Now, if we finish maybe like last season, let's just say 2 places further above than last season, that is progress. It doesn't have to happen just like that, and it can't. I mean, sometimes it's a one-off. Things do happen in football, but no, we're on the up and up, and just enjoy the ride, guys, and ignore all the garbage that's out there, basically.
The media, I think, look at us as if we are still that little club on -17 that survived relegation out of the League Two. They look at us as that club still that maybe has got lucky, but it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot, and I agree with you completely. We've raised the bar. We are no longer that. We are a club which are, definitely 100% on the up. Look at what we're doing with the stadium. Look at what we're doing. Look at, our chairman. He was a man who got ice hockey into the desert. He's got to be pretty bold, to do that. And he's come here with an idea of being pretty bold. He's not come here and thought, well, I'll just keep Bournemouth at that same sort of level. There's no way in a million years.
He's a winner.
Yeah,
Basically, he's a winner.
yeah,
Do you want to
100%.
go into the chat?
I shall do actually. Yes, sorry, I've kind of neglected that. Malcolm's having to tell me off this morning. Not with it. I haven't had the coffee. Although saying that, it's probably because of the blood pressure. So Darren Hurst said he predicts another show of lots of Cole Pilkington BS. No, not so far, not so far, but just for you, Darren.
Bullshit.
Had to do be done. But Paul Sant has said trouble is Malcolm because of FFP. We will have to sell at least one player every season to balance the books. I don't agree with this.
I
I'm
don't
not.
agree with it either.
No, in fact, and we'll discuss Andoni very briefly because I know it drives you mad, but the reasons why Andoni is not going to go. But I did speak to one certain Sky Sports reporter a while back because there was these rumours circulating on a fantastic little website called Twitter, going on about, oh well, we're at risk of FFP and PSR and what have you, and it was completely dispelled. It's completely dispelled because of the way we are managing things. Um, yeah, I think you will hear all this stuff from the media. We are viewed as a small club. We are raising the bar, like Malcolm said. So I think that's a perfect word to actually go with. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about FFP. I think Frano, Tiago, Bill, and Jim Fravola have got it all under control. All under control, that sense of things. Darren Hurst has said, I agree with Malcolm. Where else in the country can the Bournemouth staff enjoy the delights and benefits that come with living in the surrounding beauty of Dorset? Yeah, it's a pretty special place to live, really.
Yes, indeed.
Dorset,
Yep.
isn't it? So, yeah. Um, you know, you got the beautiful beaches, you got sandbanks if you feel a bit plush, and you've got all sorts of, you know, lovely locations, and you got the countryside as well nearby. You know, if you go to Manchester, well, what have you got?
Seeing
Chester.
nothing.
That's
I'm
closer.
seeing nothing.
Yeah, that's closer to Liverpool, to be fair, isn't it? I call Carl Pilkington, Craig, with all this crap talk. Oh dear. Pete, hello Pete. Hope you're doing well. Morning,
Morning,
guys.
Pete.
It's all about the so-called big clubs chasing, not centering on Bournemouth, though. Media will always chase the big club stories as they are looking for numbers. Yes, this is where I think we are going to need to look at. This is something that Bill Foley is looking at. You know, he's trying to get us bigger in America, which of course will expand our global appeal. At this moment in time, Bournemouth fans are probably one of the smallest segments in the top flight, but we are growing, and you know we are winning along the way a lot of friends because of the way we're doing this. But yeah, how can we compete against the likes of Manchester United, with you know their fans base of wow, you know, millions worldwide, but those people are millions of unhappy people. Let's be fair. So there we are. That's the way I see it. Sean's in the chat. Morning, Sean. He said,
Good
"Do you
morning.
think Semenyo will be our first £100 million player?" I don't think he's going anywhere. So you know, at the end of the day, we won't be we won't be getting the £1 million for him. He's too vital to us. And in fact, it'll be quite interesting to have a look at, you know, by keeping Semenyo, how much prize money we'll actually make in the Premier League, in Europe, if we get there, in other competitions, because I think that that will far outweigh, you know, just getting 100 million from Man United over a space. And it's not 100 million straight up front. Man United probably can't afford that. It's probably going to be
Well,
100 million over 4 years, so 25 million a year. To be honest, I think the club's doing pretty well, and Semenyo is vital of keeping us in this position. So, yeah, we don't need to sell in this
no, we
market.
don't.
Man United, not a place to want to go to right now. Poor results, too many egos. Yeah, you know, we've spoken about Man United before. Amorim, I think I feel a bit sorry for him. I'm starting to feel sorry for Amorim. You know, I don't personally think he's the greatest manager. You know, I think he's a little bit out of his depth at that football club. But Ten Hag went there, you know, completely and utterly failed. You know, he did win them a trophy, but you look at all the managers throughout the years who have been there. You know, after Sir Alex Ferguson, it was always going to be massive, massive, massive shoes to fill. And they are an example of a club being managed poorly, whilst Bournemouth are an example of a club being ran well and raising the bar. Man United's bar is coming down on them, and it's easier to do that than it is actually to raise the bar. Would you agree, Malcolm?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you mentioned Manchester United. It's not just on the pitch, is it?
No.
So there lies your problems. It's also off the pitch.
Mm,
The structure at the club, you know, with the takeovers and everything else. It's yeah, the in-house politics. It doesn't look very good.
no.
And obviously, being a world brand, if you like to put it that way, because that's why they're a big club, it's quite embarrassing, to be honest with you. I do feel sorry for genuine fans, you know, who give out an awful lot of money to go and watch their team play
Mm,
and see what's happening to their club. So it's, yeah, the bar has dropped, obviously.
yeah.
Rebuild definitely is needed. Amarin shouldn't have come in mid-season, in my
Great.
opinion. But it was one of the directors who actually went to Portugal and said, it's now or never.
Mm,
You know, so his hands were tied basically. And then he just goes in and he's got a system that, you know, won't change.
yeah.
Yeah, so he will get some results here and there, and then they'll just fall back, playing players out of position and goodness knows what. Yeah, they've had lots of in-house hassles with players, like you mentioned, egos and everything, or Peter did. Uh, you cannot manage that. You have to get them out,
Mm,
these players, because they're just disrupting everything, and
yeah,
you won't have the harmony that you would expect to have, you know, with the players and staff in the dressing room. If you've got big egos in there, and they've always been a little bit clicky anyway, haven't they? I
yeah.
mean, Sir Alex Ferguson actually ditched all that. Bless him. I mean, you got to take a hat off to the guy because he was actually phenomenal what he did at the club.
Wow.
But then, the old
Yeah.
school came back. Little cliques in the dressing room, players just sticking together, and yeah, and that just breeds contempt, doesn't it?
Yeah, I personally think, and this is a very contentious point, but I personally think that when Sir Alex Ferguson left Manchester United, they should have stuck with David Moyes. I think, if David Moyes would have got it right in the end, and I think they paid Everton quite a lot of money as well to get him over there because didn't Moyes only just finish fourth or something with Everton the season before or
Can't
something?
remember.
No, it was. I think he did pretty well, but um, would we take 100 million if offered? Probably. Who wouldn't? I don't think we. I don't think we would because at the end of the day, it's determined on the position that we could end up in and the prize money. Um, every player has got their price. Every player is replaceable. But Antoine Semenyo is playing so well. You know, we don't need to sell at this moment in time. I think January will be a very, very quiet period for us. So don't get too excited if you want lots of transfer news. We might bring some in, but I can see not many going out. Maybe a Rejo, but that's about it. Darren Hurst, players are only worth what another club will pay for them, and he is going nowhere. If and when that day comes, then maybe. Yeah, I think I
I think the
think
current talk is around 75 million, isn't it?
yeah, I don't think it's enough. Don't think it's enough the way we're playing at this
But
moment.
ask the guy. I mean, you've only got to see what he's doing on the pitch. You can't tell me that he's not enjoying his football, and he won't.
Exactly,
He won't get that at another club. He
100%.
really won't.
Sometimes the grass isn't always greener, as they
As
say.
we often say. Yep.
Darren Hurst has said we are definitely no longer the little tin pot club other tiers teams fear us now. I think they fear us. I think they do kind of respect us on the pitch. I think they still feel. I think there is this perception in football that we're still a tin pot club, that have got lucky, maybe at League One level. But honestly, honestly, we're no longer anywhere near that. And yeah, anybody who thinks that we're tin pot, gets quite a nasty shock when they come and play us. In my honest
They
opinion.
do. I mean, I'd be happy that we'll continue and be like maybe like a Brentford, Brighton, that are always maybe top half,
Mm,
you
I
know,
think
um,
so.
and I mean, we might go a little bit higher or,
Mm,
one stage further than what they've done. But nevertheless, that is a nice place to be in.
yes, 100%. And the more longer we're in that position, the bigger
Mm.
we're going to grow. Honestly, I think that Bill Foley isn't sat around thinking just though we want to be like Brentford, Brighton. He wants European football. He
Of
wants
course
those
he does.
European
Yep.
nights, and I think he does want to surprise the Premier League at some point. Doesn't mean that we're going to win the top flight, although it would be bloody amazing if we did. I already said to Matt, I said, if that happens, I will wear a pair of Y fronts, cherry Y fronts, and I'll run from Canford Cliffs or Sandbanks all the way to Boscombe and back. Probably on a nice cold day as well, just to,
Oh, heaven
yeah.
forbid.
I'll do a Gary Lineker. I'll come on. I'll come on in my Y front. Shall I do a Cherry
Well, I don't
AM?
want to be a
Or...
co-host.
Okay. We'll see who wants to be the co-host to that one. I don't think there'll be many takers, to be honest.
But I don't know how we've got this far. We talk about football.
Yes, we will do. I'll just go through the rest of the comments. The media knows before the club and the player know not. No, there's too much rubbish. They just. I am sure there is some people in the media, and this is, not just football media as well, that go, right, what is going to sell a newspaper? A
All they want to
newspaper.
do, they want a story.
Yeah, exactly. A newspaper is not going to sell with Semenyo is happy at Bournemouth on there. It might appeal to us, but it won't appeal to other people.
Yeah.
Semenyo wanted for 75 million. All those buzzwords that they use. Unique.
Garbage. It's absolute
Yeah,
garbage.
exactly. In regards to FFP, we spent the least amount in the Premiership of 151 million. Absolutely no risk at all. Yep, definitely. I don't think it's a bad thing to sell a player every season, Sean says, to make a profit. It makes room to keep seeing new exciting talent, as long as it's done right, and money to help more infrastructure. Yeah, I see that. I do see, okay,
It is business, isn't it?
it is business, yeah.
Mm.
But at the same time, you know, I don't think we need to. Bill Foley has got the money. We're not in any risk. So I think we'll be just about all right. And I think there is going to be players that are going to come in, like Dean Howson, who are bought in from Juventus, and they're offered that opportunity to make their name. And have that clause in there if they want to move on. I think that was a big part of why Dean Howson come to AFC Bournemouth in the first place. It was great to watch him for that season, but there is going to be those players, and it's good business that. But there's players like Antoine Semenyo who are mainly our mainstays of our team, and therefore it's going to take a lot more than 75 million to shift him. Craig, that Carl shout is the talk about the players leaving, not you. Two fantastic hosts. Thank you so much, Darren.
Thank you, Darren. Checks in the post, mate.
Yeah. Although saying that, I am waiting, Malcolm, for you to host again with Darren, because
It'll
I'll tell you
happen.
what, when you
It'll,
two
hap-
get going, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
it'll
Uh,
happen sometime.
definitely. David has said they all laughed at Bill when saying we will win the NHL. He only went and won it.
Yeah,
That's what David
absolutely
said.
amazing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Could it happen?
Well, with the Vegas team, wasn't it?
Yeah, but what I mean, could it happen?
Oh, here
Yeah.
together, anything is possible.
There we are. You know what? I might actually have to do a show on that, and I'll get in contact with David Icke and see what he thinks about it.
Don't.
Darren Hurst has said again, Bournemouth are about building a team, not planning to sell. Anyone that is a first team player only need to sell the players whose heart is not in it and want to leave, like Dango, for example.
Exactly that.
Or players who do not meet the standard required, like Arejo. Yeah,
Yeah.
completely
Spot
agree.
on. Spot
Yeah,
on.
still don't understand the Dango thing, but there we are. Paul Santa said Ferguson probably the best ever manager, but I can still remember him for being one game away from the sack.
He
Yes.
was indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Here we are. We've got Pete. Big money players on huge wages by definition have egos, and there will be cliches. Old boys, new
Clicks.
coming in. Clicks. See, clicks. Sorry. Um, thanks, Malcolm.
I'm more German than English.
Don't
Craig.
give up the day job. That's what they say. Oh, boys, you coming in much harder to manage, whereas Cherries still have a great family togetherness. Yes.
Spot on. Absolutely spot on. Yeah. Thanks, Pete.
Paul Sant has said, also, you must remember players will want to earn more money, but of course, Bill Foley
Not
has
everybody.
not everyone at all. Um, And Darren Hurst has said, I am enjoying my walk today. Great show, guys, and interaction from the chat. There we are. Maybe you should do a show whilst doing the walk. Although saying that, it depends what the reception's like. Plus, also,
Full of muscle, Darren.
yeah. Malcolm wants you back on here. I tell you what, let's very quickly discuss, of course, Andoni Iraola and all the talk around him. I know this does your head in, and I want to dispel any, rumours as well, because Sky Sports on a regular basis are asking him about the Manchester United job. I hate the fact that we're actually asking about a specific club. I really do. I really do. Andoni is happy here, isn't he?
Of
He's
course he is.
enjoying being part of the project. And why would he want to give up a Bournemouth side who everybody says punching above our weight, but he knows, a little bit more than we do. I don't think, he would share that. I think he thinks that we can go up a couple more levels. A club who are potentially going to get into Europe, who, he's enjoying that underdog tag, and, could surprise a lot of people, on in the football world. Why would he want to throw that all away to go to a club like Manchester United, which is a basket case, which I need to find a list of their managers' names since Alex Ferguson, but, they had
Google.
so much stability for so many years, and now it's absolutely bonkers. I why are Sky Sports and why are the media still persisting with this?
No idea. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I love watching Andoni when he does his press conferences, pre
Mm,
and post match, because of the way he speaks, the way he conducts himself, avoids stupid questions, to be honest with you. And I'm going to knock back to your mate, Mark McAdam. Um,
mhm.
he can give a good, journalist interview with Andoni, and then he throws it by putting in, the same old. Why not just concentrate on, okay, we'll just go
Mm,
for a pre-match press conference. Ask about the team, ask about injured players, possible lineups and things like that, which
yeah,
factual, and for that particular game, and leave it. That's good because people don't want to know garbage. Why throw something in and spoil a really good interview? Sorry, I just do not get it.
I think he's being directed a lot by the powers that be at Sky Sports, because Mark
Yeah, but
McCann is a
the
Bournemouth
thing
fan.
is,
Yeah,
Matt, sorry, Craig, the thing is with it, it's not the first time. And
mm,
Andoni's already answered in previous press
yeah.
conferences his answer, and he says the same again. And it must drive the guy nuts, knowing that this question is going to be asked again and again.
I wonder how much the odds would be that it gets asked again before the Crystal Palace game.
It wouldn't surprise me. It really
Mm,
wouldn't surprise me. Sorry, but
yeah.
journalists, um, they're just looking for a story. Now, whether it's a newspaper, whether
Yeah.
it's online or TV. Sorry.
I can't pin the blame on Mark McAdam because I think he is being asked to do this.
Yeah, but
But
he can stand his ground and say, no, I'm not going to ask that.
yeah, I'm a Bournemouth fan. Firstly, he is a Bournemouth fan. And
Yeah.
secondly, everybody's heard the same thing over and over and over again. And
Boring. It is
Riola,
boring.
he's
Yeah.
not going to leave. He's not going to leave this football club mid-season. Manchester United might be able to turn up and say to Andoni Iraola, like Amarim, look,
You
it's now
won't.
or never. But Andoni's going to say, well, it'll be never then. That's the way I think that it would pan out. I'd be very, very, very shocked if it was an alternative. So it is getting boring. He's been linked. Let's be fair, he was linked to Spurs, wasn't he? He's been linked to Arsenal.
There's a guy called Craig who's linking him to blooming Arsenal as well. As
Yes.
Semenyo. Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Well, to be honest, it's a load of crap. It really is a load of crap. And
Now, can I just point one thing out?
go for it.
For all of those that are watching, listening, whatever, at almost towards the end of that Fulham game, and I actually I shared a video actually on our channel, Facebook channel, that Andoni's excitement when that third goal went in, that tells you everything about what it means to him. And he wants more moments like that, I'm sure. I've never seen him so ecstatic. Seriously. I mean, most of the time he's, fist pumping, saying, yes, great, but when that third goal went in, they were all jumping together. I've never seen that before.
Exactly.
And that just told me this is what this club's about. This is what we're looking for.
It is like, in business, if you're happy with being somewhere, why would you want to go somewhere else for just that little bit more? Why would you want to start again with a team that you don't know, whereas you've got a team that you do know that's working very, very well? You're going in the right direction. You're going in the direction that Andoni Iraola is already a legend at this football club. We're going in a direction where could do something remarkable with us.
He is.
Yeah,
He is.
I've got no doubt about it. In fact, I would be shocked at this point in time, and I don't want to get above myself. I would be very, very shocked if we don't get some sort of European football this season, because I think we've actually come on, and everybody was going on, and even I saw somebody predict that AFC Bournemouth were going to get relegated this season at the start of the season because we'd sold all our best players.
Knowledgeable people.
Yeah. And to be honest, they were, there were some people out there that, were thought to have known their stuff. And they went and said, AFC Bournemouth going down because at the end of the day, they've sold all their best players. No, it was. They don't look at it as a whole. And Andoni knows exactly what this team can do. So it's exciting times for Andoni, for us. He's not going to want to throw that away. Just going to go back to the comments. Darren said, I did mention to Malcolm last night that walk and talk show could be a possibility. Do it. I tell you what, it'd be brilliant.
I talked him out of it.
Peter said, guys, Man United do not have the players or structures to play Andoni's way.
Exactly.
It will take 2 years or at least to develop, and United board are not a patient lot. Right, I'm going to bring back one of my failings right at the very start, and I'll hold my hand up to this and say that
I know what you're going to say.
And I said, when Andoni Iraola come in, and there is a number of videos which I'm not very proud of, but I'm not going to delete them, because at the end of the day, if I delete them, I'm pretending that they've never happened, and that's wrong. I personally thought that before that Burnley game, I thought we haven't got the players to play Andoni's way, and Andoni doesn't want to adapt to a way that the players can play. I was completely and utterly wrong. All honesty, completely.
So basically, what you were saying, you got to play a clip now, haven't you?
Yeah, what I was saying was complete and utter
bullshit.
There we are. So Andoni completely and utterly proved me wrong. So I don't think it would take 2 years for Andoni to turn around Manchester United, but why would he want to? He's got something that he's got in place and he's built here.
He's in the middle of a project.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think he'll sign another contract. There we are.
Of course he will, and it'll come out when the club's ready to say it.
Exactly. Exactly. They're working on it. He even said to Mark McAdam, they're working on it, but he's not going to tell
No,
anybody. He's not going to tell Mark
he, do-
McAdam.
he doesn't. He doesn't have to.
No, he doesn't. He's not going to tell me, Mark McAdam.
He's not going. He's not even going to tell Darren. I
No,
know
he's
he'd
not
be disappointed, but
he's probably not even telling the players what's going on with regards to that. And he's keeping it private. He's a private man who,
it's not their business.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
He'll make the right decision for himself, and I think the right decision is, he knows in his mind, is to stay. And yeah, um, don't panic. Don't panic, everybody. Paul Sant said, I think Andoni will stay for a while. Yes. But
well
I
done.
also worry
Finally,
that he has said he won't carry on managing to an older age. So he might
exactly.
get a bigger job sooner rather than later. But I
It
think
may not
it's a big
be.
job.
It may not be.
Mm, yeah. It's it, a big job could
Yeah.
well be getting us, into something like the Champions League that we never thought was actually
Yeah.
possible. That
Mm.
might be to him the big job. Let's be honest. He would be an absolute legend. Turning out, you're laughing, Malcolm. Cold moment. I've seen what Darren's just put there. We'll come to it. Sean said the reason the media keep going on about Andoni is they want the story. And second, it's so rare that a manager even lasts a third of their contract. Yeah, that is quite true, actually. Andoni Iraola is going to last a lot longer than a third of his contract, as I'm sure he's going to sign a new one.
Andoni only does short contracts, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would Andoni sign a new contract with the Cherries? I think he will do.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
Darren Hurst has said, respect, Craig. It takes a real man to recognise and admit when you talk. Cole moment. Yes. I did say, Andoni Iraola, it wasn't going to work for him at AFC Bournemouth. And I was talking complete and utter
Bullshit.
There we are, Darren. I know you enjoy that.
I just throw something else in now, something slightly different.
Go for it.
Tommy Lockyer.
Tommy Lockyer, yes. Yes.
For those that don't know, yesterday it was announced that he has been given the all clear to start playing football again.
Mm-hmm.
So, big up to him.
Yes.
Where it's going to take him, we've no idea, but
I really, really, really like this guy and how he's come back from, what he went through. Anybody who was there back in that cold night in December, when Phil Billing, you've got to give a lot of credit to Phil Billing, how he reacted. Phil Billing is not the most confident of people. He, is quite a shy, reserved man. How he reacted and responded and helped Tom straight away was unbelievable, and he deserves a hell of a lot of credit. And I'm sure he'll get a hell of a lot of credit for the rest of his life for that. But Tom Lockyer, how he's battled back after that moment. A lot of people would have said, right, hang up the boots straight away. I'm sure that there was a lot of people in his ear saying, hang up the boots.
very much so.
He's done remarkable. And to be honest, nobody would have blamed him if he went down that route. But he's gone back with determination. I've seen some negative things actually about Luton and how it's been managed, but I don't see that. Luton, of course, have been in a very unfortunate position, in all honesty, where firstly, Tom Lockyer had that awful moment at Dean Court back in that December. And then they've supported him throughout that time. Unfortunately, during this time for that football club, and I wish him all the very best in getting back to the Premier League, because I think there's a real good relationship between the two clubs off the back of this, and there was beforehand as well.
Yep.
In all honesty, I think that they've stood by Tom Lockyer, but they couldn't really afford, considering he was probably being paid quite a bit, they couldn't really afford, but he was actually using their facilities. He was being supported by their coaches and their medical staff to get to this point. Where he can play for another club. So he has left Luton, which, I know that some people, I don't think it's Luton fans, in fact, to be honest, Malcolm. I think it's fans of other clubs that go in on about how Luton haven't supported him. I don't think they get the full story.
Yeah, but once again, it's just people's opinions, isn't it?
Yeah,
Who haven't read the story from Tom himself.
yeah,
Um, so whichever way he decides to take his career is his
mm,
choice. Yeah. So, and it's a private matter, to be honest with
exactly.
you.
Yeah,
The one thing we all wish is that he stays healthy.
yes,
That is the most important thing, because life is too short. Yes, he's a
absolutely.
footballer. You might think, yeah, he's on great money and everything else, what a job. But, when your health is at risk,
Yeah,
it's you've got to decide, do I stop now or do I take the risk?
health is your wealth.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
So that's enough for me on
Mm.
that matter.
No,
Yeah.
to be
But
honest,
just
it's a very,
just to
very
wish
good
him all
point.
the best, really.
Yeah, most definitely. And hopefully, I think, without a shadow of a doubt, he can play at a good level again. Maybe he'll play for a League One team. Maybe he'll play for a Championship team. Maybe he
Anything's
will get,
possible.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a very good point here by Paul Sand. I'm going to just
Yeah.
come to this comment. Brooks spent a lot of time with him in hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Of course, David Brooks, went through, of course, Hodgkin lymphoma himself. Took a long time to get back, but has got back to this, level where he's playing on a regular basis for this football club in the Premier League.
Playing
I'll
the
be
best
honest,
football of his career, in my opinion.
honest, honestly, it's surprised me. To be fair, Malcolm, and it's lovely. It's beautiful to see because
Yeah.
I honestly thought, after that season, and he got all the all. Oh, I'm getting a bit tearful now, but after that Forest game, of course, where we were promoted to the Premier League, he got the all clear, but there was no sign that he was ever going to play football again, or play for this football club again. Of course, I went to what was a lovely day, but also, in sadness because, of course, with my good friend Al Guard, and there was a board and it showed all the. I didn't really understand it, but it was like all the reps that the players could do, and you saw all the players right at the very top, and there was David Brooks at the bottom on the computer screen, understandably so. There was a long journey back for him. I
Of
knew that
course.
at the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and he's done it. He's done it. He's crossed that bridge, which must have been one of the most difficult bridges to ever cross for anybody. Um, and like you say, he's playing the best football of his career. So yeah, wish uh, wish Tom the very, very, very best. And I'm sure David Brooks will be there as well, and be cheering him on. So yeah, oh, there we are. Yeah, just wanted to. Yeah, sorry, I got a little bit welled up there, to be honest, Malcolm.
Thought you
I
were eating onions.
Yeah. No, it's happy stories. Happy stories. I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
hoping, fingers crossed for Tom. There's a happy story as well, and he can get back to the level which he deserves to play at, which is the Premier League. So,
Yeah.
fingers crossed for him. Um, a third of Andoni's yearly contract is only 9 months, and he has already clearly stated he will, never will leave
Uh,
mid-contract. Yeah,
well,
that
you
is
won't.
very, very, very true.
Yeah.
And I'll just go through some of the other comments as well. There was one. Um, Did anyone find out if there has been 3 consecutive 0-0s between the same Premier League club or any league teams ever? I honestly don't know, Sean.
No, I don't know. Probably at some point, or not.
And for those that can't get tickets to Forest, go support the ladies at Millbrook in the Women's FA Cup. They are a Southampton-based team. There we are. And Paul Sant says...
That game's on the same day, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. We've already seen that one from Paul Sant. Brooke spent a lot of time with him in hospital. And it's David DaCosta says it shows you're only human, Craig. Yeah, I would say I'm human. I do get a little bit tearful at times, when there's a sad movie on or something like that. Oh, bloody hell. The Holiday.
Don't start.
The Holiday and things like that. Holiday is my favourite Christmas movie of all time.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about Christmas for? You're going to get a second yellow card in a minute, mate.
Oh, sorry. I'll shut up. It was just Cameron Diaz on the mind.
Oh dear. This early in the morning.
Well, God, get me up somehow. Anyway, I think that's all we've got time for. Malcolm, it's been an absolute pleasure to do this show with you again. Always good fun.
I know it has.
Yeah, it's been good fun for me. It's not been good fun for Malcolm.
it's great. It's all right. I love it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem at all, mate. And of course, I am going to be off for about a week. Of course, I've got the big birthday bash coming. So the big 4-0 this weekend. So yeah, I'm kind of dreading it, to be honest.
I remember that.
The big 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to really drink very much, to be honest.
You'll probably spill most of it.
Yeah, I probably will do. But yeah, Halloween first. Thanks very much, Sean. There is Halloween first. I don't celebrate Halloween, but
it's too American for me. Sorry, does nothing for me.
But if you're new here, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell button below to help this channel to grow. Also, go do this for us.
Up the Cherries in all departments has been nominated for the Best Club Content Creator for the Premier League. To vote, visit the link on screen. We thank you in advance for your support, and up the Cherries.
There we go. So go do that. But Malcolm, thank you so much. Looking forward to tuning in. Right.
Tomorrow?
Yes, I shall be tuning in tomorrow.
I'll be on with Ollie tomorrow.
Yes.
So looking forward to it.
Definitely. Right.
Have a good Wednesday, everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us. And thank you, Craig, for having me on.
Not a problem at all. Always my pleasure. And I'll see you very, very, very soon. Hey, it'll breeze past. I'll be on soon.
Up the Cherries, mate.
I'm off on holiday. I'll see you later.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Melvin.
bullshit.